You know, there's a powerful verse in the Psalms that's been really ministering to me these past couple of days. It's in Psalm 112, and it says that unto the upright light arises in the darkness. Now, why has this been really comforting to me? Well, the season I've been going through has been tough for me to hear the voice of God in a very clear, tangible way. God has definitely spoken to me in this season, and I've heard his voice, but it's been harder for me to hear specific direction from him when it comes to my circumstances that I'm currently facing. And so this verse has been really comforting to me because it's been reminding me that when you walk in righteousness, light will arise in the midst of the darkness. I remember my friend David here on TikTok, he did a video talking about why it's hard for some people to hear from God. And he mentioned how disobedience and walking in sin has a way of clouding your ability to discern the will of God, and how when you're walking in sin and disobedience, that has a way of blocking your ears from hearing God's voice clearly. And so this voice really is the opposite and gives me this comfort that when you are walking in righteousness and in holiness, light will arise in the darkness. It'll be easier for you to hear God's voice and receive God's direction and discern what to do. And this is so powerful, right? Because in my circumstance where it's hard for me to hear from God in that way, it's comforting to know that that God will increase my direction and that he will provide guidance, that his light will shine in the midst of my darkness as long as I keep pursuing him, as long as I keep walking in obedience. Because you see, even if you don't know exactly what God's divine will is for your circumstance, you know, according to the word of God, what God defines as righteousness versus sin. And so if you choose to walk in righteousness in the midst of your circumstance, it's incredible how God will guide you, how God will lead you, how the light will shine in the midst of darkness, and God will bring revelation to you so that you can continue to pursue what his will is for your life. And so I just hope that if somebody out there needs to hear this, that if you keep walking in righteousness, I encourage you, God will shine the light in your darkness. God promises that in his word, that light will arise in the midst of your storm, in the midst of the darkness. Because even when there's unknown, even when there's difficulty, even when there's pain, God's light is his presence, and he will shine if you keep walking in obedience. He will give you the ability to discern as long as you keep saying yes and keep trusting him each step of the way as you walk in holiness. And so anybody out there who needs this encouragement, I pray that you receive it. I pray that it bless you and give you hope and comfort in the midst of your circumstance. Even though it may look dark, if you keep walking in righteousness, you keep walking in obedience, God's light will shine, God's light will arise, and God will give you the direction that you need in order to make it through your circumstance and make it to the other side. God bless you.